Okay, so far we have broken down every single step of the WordPress maintenance process in detail in the previous training modules. Now we're going to put it all together and perform an actual WordPress maintenance routine. So what I'm going to do now is just go through and perform the routine. I'll talk a little bit about it while I do it, but if you really want to know more details about each of the steps, then go back to each of the training modules, the respective training modules that deal with that particular step, so you can understand exactly what we're doing. So the first step that we do when we perform the maintenance routine is we just log in initially into WordPress, into the WordPress site that we're about to maintain, and just have a look at what needs to be updated. So here I am at the WordPress login of the site that I'm about to upgrade or update, and I'll log in with my password manager. Okay, so now we come to the dashboard and you can see that the actual WordPress software needs to be upgraded. We have a few spam comments that we need to clear up, and there's a few plugins that need to be updated as well. So we'll need to update the plugins, we'll need to upgrade the software, and before we do any of this, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and clear up that spam, because we don't need to back that up. And then we're going to actually back up the data and the files before we perform any upgrades, just in case something goes wrong. Okay, so let's clear the spam first. Okay, so we click on the comments, we delete. Okay, so we've cleared the spam. There should be no spam left on the site. Great. Now, as I said, before we do anything, let's log into our cPanel and let's back up the WordPress database and the files. So here we are. I've logged into my cPanel for the site, and the first thing we do is we're going to back up the database via the phpMyAdmin. Okay, so now that we've logged into phpMyAdmin, we select the WordPress database that we want to back up. You can see we have some overhead on the database, so let's clean that up first. So select Optimize. Great, so now we've cleaned up the database. Yep, all clean. Now it's time to export. So let's export. Click Go. Now we're going to save the file, and I'm in the backups folder for this client, and we are now backing up for the month of October. So we create a folder, October 2011, and first let's save the database file. Okay, so the database file is being backed up. So now the database has finished backing up. We can close out of this window. Let's go back into the cPanel, and this time let's select File Manager. Now it's time to actually back up the files. So these are all the files from the WordPress site. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Select All, and we're going to compress. Okay, so all the files have now been compressed. So here is the zipped file, and we're going to download this file to our backups folder as well. So download it. You can see here we've backed up the WordPress database, and now we're backing up the WordPress files all into the same backup folder. Once this is done, we're going to then zip the backup folder, and we're going to upload it to our offsite backup service. So if anything ever happens to the site or to this computer, we've got the entire backup safe in an offsite location. Okay, so the next step is for us to zip the backup file and upload it to our offsite backup location. So we've downloaded the WordPress files and we've downloaded the WordPress database to our backup folder. So let's zip it up. So there's the zipped backup file, and now let's upload it. In this case, using Amazon S3 service. So let's upload now the backup to our offsite backup location, and it will just take a while for this to upload it. We'll come back when it's all done. Okay, so now that the backup has finished, we no longer need the zipped file of the backup, so let's just delete that. There's no need to keep that on our server. And now we have backed up the WordPress database, we've backed up the WordPress files, so we can start upgrading the application and the plugins. Now, this particular site is hosted on a server that doesn't allow me to do any automatic updates, so I'm going to do everything manually, which is fine. It gives you a chance to see how the manual upgrades are performed. The automatic is very simple. You would simply click on this and follow the instructions if your server allows. This one doesn't, so let's do it all manually. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade the WordPress application, and I'm going to do that using cPanel. I manage a number of sites, so I've already downloaded the latest version. If you need any help with this, see the Get Organized training module. So I've already downloaded the latest version of WordPress, and I'm going to upload the zipped file because I'm using the cPanel file manager upgrade method. So I've already prepared the file for the latest version, so we're just going to upload it to our server. So you can see it's starting to upload. So while this is uploading, I'm going to come back into the dashboard. I'm going to log out of the WordPress site. Okay, so now I'm logged out. We're just going to wait for it to finish uploading. Okay, so now we've uploaded the latest version of WordPress in a zipped format. We can close this window. And let's reload. And here is the file we've just uploaded. So what we're going to do now is extract it. Okay, the file has been extracted. So what we're looking for now is the WordPress folder. Here it is. And all we're going to do is open up this folder, select all, and we're going to move all of the contents up one level. Okay, so we've moved everything up. So what it basically means is that we've overwritten the old installation files with the new installation files. So now we no longer need the folders we uploaded, so we can delete this folder and delete this folder. Just confirm that these are the two folders we want to delete, and we have upgraded our WordPress installation manually. So now let's log in. Let's log in back to WordPress. We get the dialog box coming up, the dialog window saying that an update to the database is required. So click on Update. Continue. And now, as you can see, we've upgraded WordPress to the latest version. So that part of the process is done. The next part is to upgrade the plugins. So if we go over to the plugins, Okay, now once again, this particular server environment doesn't allow us to do automatic upgrades. If it did, all we'd have to do is click on this link and then go through the instructions. So we're going to upgrade our plugins manually, which again is fine. So first thing we do is I'm going to upgrade this plugin. The process will be the same for all of the other plugins, so I'll just do this one here, and then all we would be doing is repeating the same process you're about to see for each of the other plugins. So click on view the new version, go to the plugin page. Now we're going to download the new version, so we're upgrading the plugin Akismet to the new version 2.53. We're going to save it to our organization system. Okay, so what we have to do next is locate our WP plugins folder, locate the plugin that we're upgrading, create a new folder for the new version. So this is version 2.5.3, and download the plugin into that folder. And now we'll go and extract it. Okay, so here's the zipped file. We're going to extract it to the same folder. So now I'm going to copy the latest version of this plugin into my latest plugins folder, where I keep always the latest version, so paste over the previous version. Great, so now I'm going to upload this plugin folder to my site, and we're going to do this time using FTP. So I'm going to upload it using my Fire FTP application. So let's connect to the server using the FTP client. Locate the plugins folder, which is in WP content plugins. So there is the plugin we want to upgrade. So let's find, we're in latest plugins, Akismet, and just copy over the new version into the plugins folder. Overwrite all. Okay, so that's copied over the old version of the plugin. So let's go back into our WordPress site and refresh. So here's the old version that needed to be upgraded. Let's press refresh. And we have now upgraded the plugin to the latest version. So now all we have to do is repeat the process with every plugin that needs to be upgraded. So I'll go ahead and do all of that, and I'll come back once this is all done. Okay, so now you can see that we've updated all the plugins. Just to summarize then the process of what we've just done, so you can see how we've put it all together, is we logged into our WordPress site, we checked to see what needed to be upgraded, and we then deleted all the spam. We then logged into cPanel, into the phpMyAdmin method. We've backed up our WordPress database. Still in cPanel, we then backed up all of our WordPress files through the file manager method. We then zipped the backup folder and uploaded it to our offsite backup location to make sure that if anything happens to the site or to the computer, we've got a backup of our site. We then went back into our WordPress site and we upgraded the WordPress application. I did that one using the cPanel file manager upgrade method, and we then upgraded the WordPress plugins manually. At the end of all of that, just made sure that everything was upgraded correctly and the maintenance routine has been completed.